to my channel if you're new. My name is Casey, and if you are new to my channel, I would love for you to take one quick second, go down below, hit that subscribe button, and hit the little bell button so you'll never miss when I post a new video. Okay, so today we are going to get to the bottom of this hair typing thing. People are constantly asking me all the time, what's your hair type? 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 I think assuming that if we had the same hair type, then all the same products would work for us. No. So this hair type chart, it was basically created to help classify your curls to determine if you have wavy, curly, coily, or kinky hair. I truthfully do not like when people call it the hair type chart because it makes it seem like it defines your hair as a whole, and it does not. So I'm going to call it the pattern chart, not the hair chart, because it simply refers to the shape of your curl, and that's it. Now, many people who have the same curl pattern or fall in the same curl pattern category as other people may have similar hair characteristics, but not everything is the same. For example, I can have a 4A, 4B pattern, you can have a 4A, 4B pattern, and our hair can still react completely different to the same products. And that's simply because our hair does not have all the same characteristics. What many naturals don't understand is that while the hair typing chart can help you figure out the styles that may work for your hair, it does not give you an accurate explanation on the kinds of products and techniques that will work best for you. This is why I don't use the hair typing system to shop for products or to figure out techniques for my hair, but I choose to focus on other aspects of my hair to help me figure out the best ways to care for it, and I encourage all of you guys to do that as well. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys how I shop for my hair and how I use certain products based off of my hair's characteristics. But truthfully, before I start, disclaimer, there is no exact manual to this. I'm just simply here to help guide your thinking. Plus, it's not always about the products. Most of the time, it's about the technique that you're doing. So before I get into exactly how I shop for products and stuff, I want to tell you guys about the many characteristics that get overlooked. So that way you can understand what they are and you can understand why essentially they help you with figuring out products and techniques, and why they're more important than that hair chart. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing is texture / strand thickness. Your texture basically refers to the circumference of each of your individual strands, and it ranges from coarse to medium to fine. Literally think of it as the size of your individual hair strand and how big it feels. The coarser the strand, the harder it may be to moisturize the hair. Hence, you may need a heavier or a thicker moisturizer. And the finer the strand, the easier it may be to moisturize because the hair strand is so small. I want to stress the difference between curl pattern and texture. People get those mixed up all the time. Your hair texture is not 3A, 3B, 3C, 4, whatever. That's your curl pattern. Your texture is going to be how medium or fine your individual strands are. They're different. People often associate type 4 hair with coarse hair, which is not always the case, and I know because I have a type 4 curl pattern, but my hair texture is very fine. It's not coarse at all. So the next characteristic that you want to keep in mind is density. So your hair's overall thickness is measured by its density, which refers to the number of strands on your head collectively as a whole, and it ranges from low to medium to high. The next really important characteristic you want to know is porosity. Porosity just simply refers to your hair's ability to absorb and retain moisture, and it ranges from low to normal to high. Think of it kind of like little holes in your hair. Low porosity tends to be challenging to get moisture in because the hair cuticle is so tight, there aren't many holes or openings in the cuticle. The moisture is easily retained once it's in. Like once that moisture is in, it's in, and it will usually last a little while. Normal porosity, which is very rare, and if you have normal porosity, you are very lucky. It's basically easy to moisturize, and it's also easy to keep moisture in because the cuticle has a sufficient amount of holes. Not too many and not too little. High porosity tends to be easy to moisturize because of all those holes in the cuticle, but because of all those holes, moisture is also easy to get out. So it's easy to get moisture in, and then that moisture also leaves very quickly. Porosity is really important because it helps to determine how you layer your products, if you decide to layer your products, and also how you effectively moisturize your hair. The last characteristic that I think is really important is determining your hair's damage or your hair's stress level. And this just basically means whatever damage you have to your hair, whether it be from the environment, from color, from heat, from manipulation. Now, color-treated hair or heat-style hair does not necessarily mean it's damaged, but the cuticle is compromised. whenever you do heat or whenever you apply color to your hair. So the cuticle is going to be weaker than it is naturally, even if it's not completely damaged. So in that sense, I like to call it more so hair stress instead of damage. And it's important to analyze your hair's damage level so that way you can decide how much moisture and protein balance you need, which I do have a full video on my channel if you want to watch it, and I will talk about a little bit later in the video. So that's 4 big characteristics that are ultimately a little bit more important than just determining your curl pattern. So now I'm going to tell you guys how I use that information and implement it into my hair techniques and the products that I choose for my hair. And hopefully this can help guide you into kind of thinking about it the same way for your hair. Like I said, there's no exact manual, so I will not be able to tell you individually what processes and products will work for you, but I'm hoping that you can listen to how I did it and then you can use this information to apply it to your hair. So based off of all that information, I know that my curl pattern consists of 4A and 4B coils and kinks. My hair texture is fine, which means that each of my individual strands are very small. My hair density is low to medium, which means that I don't have a lot of hair on my head, or my hair overall collectively is not that thick. And my hair porosity is high, which means that my hair is more prone to long-term dryness because it's easy to get moisture in, but it's also easy to lose that moisture fast. And again, that's because of those little teeny holes that I have in my cuticle. So now I'll tell you how I use all that information to figure out the best products and techniques for my hair. Since my hair strands individually are very fine and my hair is not that thick overall, or it's very low in density, if I use a heavy product, I have to be sure to not use too much of it because it will weigh my hair down. If I use a lighter product, I have to be sure to use more of it to make sure that my hair is getting enough moisture. Also, since my hair is very fine and low dense, I do get product kind of easily, so I can tend to co-wash or wash my hair a lot more often than someone who may have thicker, denser hair that can hold that product longer without, drying out the scalp or without losing that moisture fast. I also personally don't find the need to pre-poo my hair or prep my hair before I shampoo it with oil or something because I just don't feel like I need to. A lot of type 4 girls swear by pre-pooing because it helps to make sure that the hair does not lose a lot of its natural moisture when you shampoo. But for me personally, I don't know, I just don't feel the need to do that. My hair is pretty fine and not that thick, so it's easy for me to rinse out products without drying my hair out, and that's just for me personally. It all just depends. So now let's move on to my hair porosity and how that affects my products and techniques. My hair is naturally high porosity. It was high porosity before I colored it. It was high porosity when I first went natural before I used heat, so I know for a fact that my hair is naturally very high in porosity. So it is very important to make sure that I am sealing in that moisture that I put into my hair so that way the moisture will not escape as quickly, and thus I can keep my hair hydrated longer. So for me, this is where I use the LOC method, which is leave-in oil cream. I always make sure to layer products so that way my hair can keep in the moisture. I personally cannot speak on effectively moisturizing low porosity hair because I don't have it, so I don't really know how to go about it. I know a lot of people that have low porosity hair do still utilize the LCO or the LOC method, but I would suggest looking it up on Google or looking at other YouTubers that have low porosity hair because they'll be able to give you more insight. I have high porosity, so that's what I've mastered. So just as an example of this method that I use, there are lots of product combinations that I like, but one of my favorites, especially for twist outs or braid outs or other preset styles, are a water-based leave-in like so. That's going to give my hair that first layer of moisture that it needs. Then sometimes I will use an oil like so. I typically mix and match oils, but I love castor oil the most. So typically I'll use castor oil, or I'll use coconut oil, or I'll use another oil of some sort. And then on top of that, I will use a twisting cream or a thick butter of some sort like so. The Intensive Hydration Twisting Custard by Shea Moisture is my all-time favorite, but I also really like the MICHE Organic Twisting Souffle. And those are just 2 examples of very thick butters that I use to seal in moisture. It doesn't have to be a twisting cream, doesn't have to be a twisting souffle. It could be a regular shea butter or a regular cocoa butter or some type of thick butter that is gonna hold in all that moisture. Wash and go styling for me is a little bit different because I always use a gel to style my wash and goes. So whenever I use a gel though, I always still make sure to apply a leave-in or a cream first to give my hair that first layer of moisture that it needs. I really like the MICHE Organics leave-in, and I also really like the LK Naturals leave-in for wash and goes too. And you guys know that recently I've been using the Shea Moisture Intensive Hydration Milk. That's probably one of my new favorites as my leave-in for wash and goes. And then on top of one of those cream-based or water-based leave-ins, then I will put on a gel styler, and my favorite one right now is the Shea Moisture Intensive Hydration Max Hold Gel. That one is super moisturizing but still really defines my curls. And then I also really like the MICHE Organics Curling Custard, which is again extremely moisturizing but still gives me crazy definition and hold. Sometimes I still will throw in an oil in there somewhere, but I just wanted to emphasize the importance of layering your products. Honestly, it took me trial and error to see which products layered the best, and mixing brands is never a bad idea. Never feel like you can't mix brands, because I do that all the time. But feel free to mix and match oils, mix and match custards, mix and match moisturizers, all that stuff. So the last thing I mentioned that I take into consideration when figuring out the best products and techniques for my hair is damage or stress. Since my hair strands have been compromised because of the color and occasional heat, my hair is not damaged per se, but it is important for me to include protein in my hair care regimen. I have 2 videos already on my channel that go more into detail about moisture and protein balance, and also my full wash day routine goes into detail on how I incorporate it into my hair routine. But to keep it short and sweet, the bonds in your cuticle are broken, or like I said, compromised whenever you color or you heat style your hair. When the protein bonds are not as strong as they're supposed to be in your hair, the hair can't absorb moisture as well either. That's why moisture and protein work so well together. One cannot be great in the hair without the other. As you may have already seen in my wash day routine, I typically incorporate protein into my hair care regimen on wash day when I do my deep condition, and I rotate between moisture and protein every other week. On protein week, I'll use a deep conditioner that I really like that is high in protein, like for example the Afro-G Curler Texture Treatment, or the Hair Affinity Amino Acid Strengthening Treatment, or one of my new favorites, the new Shea Moisture Manuka Honey and Yogurt Power Protein Treatment. Everyone's protein moisture balance is different, but that's why it's really important to pay attention to your hair. Learn about moisture overload, learn about protein overload. Both of those things are mentioned in the moisture protein balance video, and then figure out how you can incorporate it into your hair care routine based off of your hair and what it needs. So I know that was a lot of information. Hopefully you took some notes so it'll be easier to go back and read. But once you know your hair's characteristics and you start familiarizing yourself with common ingredients in natural hair products, it's then a lot easier not only to shop for hair products that you know will work for your hair, but it's also easier to watch YouTube reviews and stuff and take what you need from different people without completely comparing yourself to other people. You can listen to what that person is saying about the product and what's in it and how it works for their hair needs, and then apply it to your hair and what you need. Same thing with techniques on YouTube. Not every technique on YouTube is going to work for you, but I still think it's important to watch different people with different hair types so you can see what different people do and then come up with your own technique for yourself. That's how I did it. I literally just taught myself from watching YouTube videos, reading product labels, and constantly Googling. It takes a while, I think, and you also kind of have to want to do it. If you're lazy about it and you don't care, then you're just never really gonna master it. But if you're diligent about it and you genuinely want to learn your hair and you want to find the best products and techniques that will work for you, just put in that little bit of work and you will figure it out, and it will feel so good when you do, I promise. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up, those help me out. And if you haven't seen my Curls with Casey series, I highly recommend watching it if you are a new natural. I'll put the link down below. I kind of just stopped with the series in a weird place, and I apologize for that, but I just kind of started doing other videos, and the series just never really got ended. But my videos in the future will continue to be as informative as those. They just won't be called Curls with Casey. So definitely check out that series for more in-depth information on everything that I talked about in this video. Definitely check out the moisture protein video and my full wash day routine. And hopefully I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.